I'm your host, Joseph Nwerji, and I would like to welcome you back to episode 3 of Sensical Intelligence, the podcast for all things sensible. Follow me on IG and Twitter at Life of Imola, and subscribe to me on Sensical Intelligence on YouTube. Today we have a guest, another good friend of mine, the Mac Man, the white black man, Mr. White Chocolate, Ian Brown.
Thank you,
How you
Joe,
doing
for having
today?
me on your podcast. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, not what is there not to know? White chocolate. I'm a shooter.
Shooter.
Big basketball guy.
Uh-huh.
Uh, you know, played high school ball together.
Yep.
Great time. Other than that, I don't really do much, like school, work. Trying to keep myself busy during this crazy year, new year, I should say. But no, not much, man. Keep myself busy.
Where can we find you so the girls can raid your DM?
Well, you can find me on IJB_03, all lowercase on Instagram, and downtown IB3 on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. For the one girl that watches this show, go follow him. Go hit him up in the DM. If you got a boyfriend, so what? Just try it.
That don't mean anything.
Last episode, we discussed... Shit, what did we discuss last episode? It was free thinking. This episode, we're changing gears and entering the realm of basketball. We'd like to focus on the James Harden trade and other NBA scenarios. Who do you think is the winner of the Brooklyn Nets trade, and why?
All right. So personally, I think the Rockets win out on that trade. If you're talking long run, the Rockets win out.
Mm-hmm.
Short run, you can make an argument for Brooklyn, but when you got the Rockets getting, what was it, like 4 first-round picks?
Yeah.
They get Oladipo. Like, that's a crazy haul. You're giving up Harden, who's what, 31?
31, yeah.
I mean, apparently he's just lost 400 pounds in one day. I don't know how that's possible.
All that water weight.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's possible, but
he was cutting like a UFC fighter.
Yeah, he was in the ring 24 hours. But like, I'm thinking, like, if you're able to get rid of him and you bring in, Dante Exum, I don't think many people talk about him, but when he was healthy this year, he averaged like 13, 14 off the bench. Yeah. That's what they need. And then you add a scorer in Oladipo, and you add potential first-round picks that could come in later down the line. I don't know. I think Houston wins that trade for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Houston definitely wins that trade. I'm be honest, I was celebrating. I almost slipped in the shower when I found out the news. Like meat swinging everywhere and all that.
Yeah, flinging.
I was celebrating because I don't think they're gonna have the depth to make it in the playoffs.
No,
I think they can. What do you say?
I said I don't think Durant and Harden are gonna be able to play 45 minutes every game. That like back to back throughout the season into the playoffs. They're gonna get hurt or something's gonna happen where they're just gonna be like out of breath, out of energy, stamina's low.
Gassed.
Yeah.
And then they gave away their best defensive player in Jared Allen.
And,
yeah. And now they have no depth, and their defense is suffering. They won by 7 yesterday, and James Harden dropped like 30. KD dropped 40, and he barely won against the Magic.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because, no Dinwiddie. He's out for the year with the ACL. You lose Jared Allen, who basically protected the rim for you every time he was on the floor. And you lose Karis LeVert, which is unfortunate for him, with the whole medical problem he has now. Because, he's going to be a stud if he's cleared and everything. Yeah. He was good. And, losing those 3 pieces, it hurts. It hurts. Because now you got DeAndre Jordan as your starting center. He stinks.
Stinks. You think it's going to work between the big 3 of Kyrie, KD, and Harden?
No.
Nah.
Let me tell you why.
Why?
When you look at Harden and Durant playing together, they have chemistry from before, right?
Yeah.
So they have that chemistry still. You throw in Kyrie Irving, Harden's not going to be able to average 30 points a game. because there's going to be such a power struggle between the three of them. I
Yeah,
think if they got rid of Kyrie and just kept like traded him for maybe like a couple bench players, like a nice couple pieces, maybe like a starting center and maybe like a six man, I think Harden, Durant, them together could win a championship. I don't think Durant, Harden, and Kyrie will win together.
that's facts. Yeah, I can't see it. I give it 2 weeks before Harden swings on Kyrie for doing too many step backs.
Oh yeah, or too many dribble moves.
Yeah, Kyrie's definitely gonna put some sage in his beard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's gonna. I mean, who knows if he's even gonna play? Like that man's a. I don't know. He's a walking problem, Kyrie.
Yeah, like I don't understand why he's sitting out. He's saying personal problems, and then what happened the last the last season during the bubble because they said he could have came back.
Yeah, he sat out. He sat out. Um, as like a protest, which I completely agree. Like if that's what you feel like and you feel like that's how you're going to handle it, I'm all for it. That's your choice. But here's my thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Everything that's been going on, terrible, hands down. This should have never happened. To be honest with you, we shouldn't be dealing with this in the midst of a pandemic. Um,
Yeah.
but when you have kids like me or like you who grow up playing basketball, like we love the game, like it's all we play,
Hmm.
and we look up to certain guys like Kyrie and like these superstars, like we want to be them in the NBA, and you watch them just throw away their talent by sitting out for like not for no reason. I mean, for this time, it's no reason for Kyrie. This time,
Yeah.
it's no reason. Before, it wasn't. But like this time specifically, you have all these kids who like look up to him, like they really want to play, and they're watching one of their favorite players sit out and go to a family birthday party, massless, and now he's going to get suspended.
Oh, he was
It's
turning
just like
up. He was turning
who
up.
cares who was turning up, man? I if I was in the NBA, you would never catch me breaking no rules, no nothing. I'm making my check and I'm playing
Mm,
ball. That's it.
that's it.
My family can go fuck themselves.
Do you really
I
think
don't
he's
care.
turning? Do you really think he's turning into a Karen?
A little bit, a little bit. My dad said that. I'm surprised he called him a Karen first of all, because I mean he's like 52, so like I didn't think he knew who that was. But he was talking to me about Kyrie. He's like, yeah, he's being a little cat. He's just.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know what to say anymore because he's the only person who's doing it. Like LeBron, he says all this stuff on social media, but he's still out there playing the game because he
Yeah.
knows that's what he needs to do in order to spread that message. That's what he needs to do. And Kyrie's not doing that. So yeah, I think he is a Karen.
Honestly, he has beef with everybody. He bitches over the littlest shit. I guarantee you, he's gonna turn into manager by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be the water boy.
He's gonna. I mean, like he's gonna turn somebody. He's gonna turn somebody. He's gonna snitch on somebody for the slightest thing.
Oh, hands down. He's like, oh, Harden was out in the strip club. Now he's suspended 6 games, and Kyrie's gonna come back for 6 games and do his thing. Apparently, I could see it coming. That's gonna be a train wreck waiting to happen in Brooklyn.
I wouldn't. I would not be surprised if he snitched on somebody who was double parked by a hydrant.
Oh, he,
He's turning into like the physical manifestation of a black Air Force.
yeah. No, I completely agree with that statement. That might be the most accurate thing I've heard describing Kyrie in the past 72 hours.
Hmm.
And I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things.
Who do you think is coming out the East?
Uh, well, as a Sixers fan, my
Yeah,
fingers are crossed. Fingers
I'm,
crossed. I
I'm
don't know if it'll
praying.
happen, but it's hard because with the virus, all these teams are going to have losses that they might not have lost to. Like when you look at the Sixers last night, they played Memphis. No Embiid. I mean, it probably wasn't COVID related, but still, like when you
No, I'm
have
beating.
Steph Curry out with COVID, that's a big part of your lineup, your shooter, and they lose. So a lot of these teams, when the COVID rolls through, like the Heat, they've had problems with it. It's going to be a struggle for them because they don't have their full team. So these losses will set them back in the standings. But I think Milwaukee's definitely a front runner in the East.
Yeah,
Definitely a front runner. You have Giannis, you add Drew Holiday, you have Middleton. I don't know. They're good. They're real good.
they were
The Bucks.
stacked. I really thought the Nets, they were probably going to be the first seed before the whole Harden trade.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I
I had
think.
them coming out the East, even
Yeah, no,
though,
I think
yeah.
Brooklyn's definitely in there in the top two at least. I think they could easily win a title. They just gotta get rid of Kyrie. Solves all their problems. Bring in a Lou Williams or something like that, or like a nice role piece that can come in with your second group and just score.
Yeah, and they need better bigs. DeAndre Jordan's not going to cut it. Old as shit.
No, he he's like a record that is now broken and doesn't play anything when you try to put it on the thing.
He barely rebounds now.
No, he can't get up.
That
It's
sucks.
like me trying to go up for a dunk. It's not possible.
You can't even slide a piece of paper underneath you. It's not going to work.
No, no. He goes like not even a centimeter off the ground. Man. It's crazy because he was good at one point. He was
Yeah.
probably one of the best centers in the league, arguably.
Well, I'm definitely biased as another Sixers fan. I would put the Sixers like number 2. They definitely have to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Or do you think they should break it up if they don't get there?
Oh, I mean, see, I don't like it's tough because when you're a Sixers fan for this long, you've been through all the ups and downs. When Simmons got drafted and B got drafted, all this, and then you have people saying like, oh, you should trade Simmons for Harden, but we lose out on a couple young guys that help us out a lot. But I think I think if Bradley Beal becomes available, I think you get rid of Simmons for him. You gotta if he's available, you gotta break it up. If he's not, I say you ride it out the rest of the year. If they don't do anything, you look to move Simmons in the offseason.
Yeah. This is a perfect time to ask. Should the Sixers trade it for Harden?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
I
feel the
don't
same
think so.
way. What's your
I
reason
think
behind
when
it?
you my number one reason is look how many picks they had to they give up 4 picks. Even though they're unprotected, that's still 4 first round picks you're losing out on for 4 years. That I don't know about. That was way too much for me. But I think the biggest part was Maxi. You just drafted him. The dude's an absolute stud. He's going to be our future point guard, which is why I'd be okay with moving Simmons for Beal because
Yeah,
you had Beal as a shooting guard.
works.
Uh, yeah, but I think when they wanted Tyrese Maxey, I think that's what kind of switched my decision because the dude's good. I mean, look what he's done the first couple games. Like when Simmons isn't playing, he had like
Start.
what 39 in one game,
Yeah,
and then he averages like 18 off the bench. And you have Shake Milton too,
he's
which
another
is another
bucket.
piece. Because I'm sure they would have wanted him instead of Thibault, because Thibault
Yeah,
hasn't done anything all year. But
I,
yeah, I don't think so.
if it was Simmons, Thibault, and I guess a couple picks, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you said Simmons, Thibault, and like 2 first round picks, I mean, I guess I don't know like how well. Yeah, I'd probably do that if it was them two and like 2 first round picks. I could probably get on board with that because then you could have Maxi run point guard for you.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I could roll with that. I can agree with that.
yeah. I wouldn't be so like pissed to like get Simmons off the team if he was scoring at least 20 a game.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's not. So
He's not.
it's. I mean, would you rather take like 20 points from Simmons and like 2 and 2, or would you rather have him average 12, 10, and 10?
I'd rather take the 12, 10, and 10.
Exactly.
And he's one of the best defenders in the league, and people honestly forget that.
Yeah, he's very, very underrated as a defensive player, which is I don't know how. I mean, he's 6 foot what? He's like 6'9", 6'10", and he can move as a like quick as a guard.
I mean, they only care about his breaks.
Yeah, he can't shoot. He cannot shoot.
I wonder what the hell was he doing growing up?
I mean, in high school and in college, he was shooting good. He could shoot in summer league. If you watch his highlights from summer league, the first year he was drafted, he was shooting, and now all of a sudden he don't shoot anymore.
He
I think it
can't.
was Brett Brown's fault.
Yeah, honestly, he kind of stifled his development. He didn't really force him to
And
shoot at all.
no, he let them do whatever they wanted. So if Ben Simmons didn't want to shoot, Ben Simmons didn't have to shoot. Joel Embiid
Mm-hmm.
could take 10 nights off if he wanted to. And Brett Brown wouldn't care because then that's how I hate that man.
Who do you have coming out the East? I meant shit. The West. The West. I'm sorry.
The West,
Yeah,
oh, it's got to be the Lakers. It's got to
Lakers.
be the Lakers. When you look at with their team last year that won the finals, and now you look at their team this year, and they add Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell. I'm like, bro, like they're doing it right. That's something the Brooklyn Nets aren't doing right. The Lakers went and added pieces that could surround LeBron and AD that could also do like scoring and stuff. Nets aren't doing that. They're just looking to build. All right, we have 3 players. We'll put 2 randos in, and we'll kind of rotate the bench in a little bit. And we'll try to knock off the Lakers. I doubt it. I think
Yeah,
the Lakers are going to repeat, and that's just
sadly.
me as a Sixers fan.
Yeah,
As much as I want the Sixers to win, if the Sixers played the Lakers in the finals, I would say it would go to 7 games, and I think LeBron would hit some type of Kawhi shot on the Sixers. I'm telling you, it's how our luck is in anything. That's what would happen.
oh my god, that shot, that shit made me so mad. It just danced on the rim for like 5 seconds and then it dropped.
Yeah, it
I was
defied
like,
gravity. It doesn't make any sense. Like NB's hand is probably bigger than my face, and that thing was contested. I don't know,
yeah,
man. I can't even talk about it.
that shit is so bad. I just couldn't. Hmm. So who's your early MVP?
I think Embiid should win it. I
Really?
mean, you look at what he's done so far. I mean, you can make a case for the dude. I mean, the dude from Denver. He's an absolute stud. He's averaging a
Nicole?
triple double right now as a center. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, that's my
But
dark horse right now.
yeah, I mean, I hope anyone wins it besides LeBron. I'm tired of seeing him winning shit. It's annoying. But I mean, when you look at Embiid, what numbers he's putting up with the team he has, especially for like past 5 games, they haven't had their full team because of COVID. The dude's a monster. He's unguardable. All he
Yeah,
needs is 1 quarter to heat up, and then
30
it's
on the
over. Like
block.
nobody. Yeah, but I mean, I'm hoping it's him. But if it's not him, I do think it should be the dude from Denver, Jokic, for
Nicole.
sure.
Yeah, I definitely. He's averaging a triple double right now.
Yeah, as a
Like
center too.
as a
Like that's
center,
crazy.
but they can't play a lick of defense, so their record looks kind of bad right now.
Oh no, yeah. And a big part of that was when they lost the former Sixer, Jeremy Grant.
Oh yeah,
They let him walk in free agency.
he's doing pretty good on the Pistons right now, right?
Yeah, he's averaging. I have him on my fantasy team. I think he's averaging like 25 and like 8 or something like that.
Damn, kind of mad we didn't keep him and let him develop.
Well, we didn't keep the dude from the Magic either, Vucevic. We had him too. We didn't keep him either.
I thought
Lou
we were
Williams,
wait.
look what he's doing.
Oh
Gone.
my god, we had so many good players and just let them go.
Yeah, we had so many good draft picks too, and we chose the wrong people, aka Markel Fultz instead of Jason Tatum.
That man sat on the. He sat. He just sat on the bench and did nothing. Honestly,
No,
just
he.
holding his shoulder and shit.
What a pussy.
Who's your rookie of the year?
Oh man, rookie of the year. I'm trying to think here of who we. I know there's you got Lamelo,
Mm-hmm.
obvious. Um, I mean, really, to be honest, I don't see anyone else as a rookie that's been doing as well as he has transitioning wise, besides James Wiseman. But he only plays 20 minutes a game. Lamelo plays like 28. So I think for me, I think Lamelo is definitely going to win rookie of the year.
Yeah, that's what I have right now because he's playing. Isn't he playing the most minutes? He's scoring the most. He's rebounding the most, and he has the most assists. I think the only stat he's not leading in is like blocks.
Yeah,
And I,
well, I'm not surprised at that one, to be honest.
but I'm mad because every highlight is a LaMelo highlight.
Oh yeah,
Every highlight on
every
social media is a LaMelo highlight.
every it's. I've even seen it on Facebook, and that's like an old people app. I see Lamelo on there. Like he's everywhere.
Oh my god. 6 man of the year.
6 man of the year. Uh, I'm trying to really like think like it's not going to be Lou Williams. I don't think he's going to win it. Um, I don't think it'll be Montrezl Harrell Schroeder from LA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could make a case for our boy,
Shake.
Mr. Milton. Mr. Milton
Oh, he's such a
definitely can make a
bucket.
case for him. I think what's he's got to be averaging like 18 or something just
At
off
least
the bench
18.
or I think you can make a case for him. Do I think he's going to win it? Probably not because the NBA hates the Sixers. So
I
I
think they
think he'll get screwed.
I think they definitely can give it to him. Like he had 30 the other game and 28 the game before. If he continues to at least get like 20 a game, they should definitely give it to him. I don't
Yeah,
see
I agree.
I don't see anyone else getting it.
Not off the top of my head, do I see anyone else? If he doesn't win 6 man of the year, I think he could win. I'm pretty sure the NBA does most improved, unless that's just the NFL, but I'm pretty sure they do a most improved player.
Hmm. Who do you have sneaking into the playoffs? Like on both sides. On,
Oh, ooh, man, you're really questioning my sense here. I don't know off the top of my head who's in or who's like in the 1 through 8 or yeah 1 through 8 right now. Um, I think in the East, I I think Toronto because they're not really playing well right now. Toronto, I know they won I think last night, but I think they might end up slipping like all the way to like an 8 seed,
18. You see
an
that
eight
damn that
seed because
far?
I don't think Siakam's having a great year. Yeah, Siakam's not playing well, and Lowry's getting old by the minute.
Cause Siakam keeps spinning like a gorilla in a zoo enclosure.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's incredibly messed up.
That's all he does. That's his only move. Everything is 1-2 cross spin to the basket. 1-2 cross spin.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them play at all this year. I don't even bother to turn on any other NBA games, but they said he was having a struggle. He was struggling
Oh my
to
god.
start off the year.
What was this guy? He looks like the guy who took over the boat from Captain Phillips.
Oh, that's that is actually pretty accurate. Yeah, you're just
uh,
coming at Siakam tonight.
no, I'm mad
He'll give you
because
40.
that's facts. They said he was the next guy up.
He was the next guy up because he was playing under Kawhi. That's the only reason he had a good year is because Kawhi was the focus and he was able to thrive under him.
That's facts. I mean, last season, in the beginning of the season, he was having a good year. Then the bubble came around. He fell off. I'm like, what happened?
I think the bubble really was a like a tough mentally like a mental challenge for all the players because you're stuck in one location, you can't leave it, you're getting tested every day, and it's the same shit over and over again until you're knocked out or you don't make the playoffs or you lose in the playoffs. I think that was a very tough mental challenge for all those players. So I think it took a toll on them, to be honest. Because I know watching, like Tatum against the Sixers, he would have some really bad games. And then in the next round, he'd have some bad games. I think it was harder for them to, keep, what's the word? Like, oh my God, I forget the word. I don't know. I can't think of it. When I think of it, I'll just shout it out.
I guarantee you, if they had women in them for the bubble, they would have been fine.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you have some other company. That's a given. That's a given. Because didn't somebody get kicked out of the bubble for bringing
Oh,
a girl in?
Daniel House.
Yeah, he got suspended or something like that for bringing in a girl.
I mean, the Cheeks was calling him. He was lonely.
I respect it. I wouldn't be able to go that long without some cheeks. I mean, it's just how it
The,
is.
especially the NBA players, because they're on their phones 24/7, and they can't even give the Instagram models a flight to get in.
No, that's a shame. That's a real shame.
Remember Jamal Murray? He kicked up his game once his girl, the throat master, came in.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, throat master. She's the throat queen.
She
Oh
was
my god. I remember when that shit got leaked on Twitter, and someone was like, "Yo, go check it out." So I I was curious, so I looked it up, and I was like, "What is this?" I'm like,
going
"Yo,
ham.
she was going to town, town."
Ugh, they were grinding up his pubes. They said his pubes look like a bunch of moving ants.
Oh, oh. I think of one said they look like miniature pieces of broccoli.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were doing him dirty.
Do them dirty. And
I mean,
then
he responded though. Quick 50 ball,
quick 50.
3-1
Whoa.
Clippers, gone. Goodbye.
The 3-1 with the Jazz. They got so lucky on that game 7.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
they did.
missed a layup when they were up. It was like 5 seconds left. They went for a layup instead of taking it out. I'm like, they
He
didn't
blew it.
need to do that. I think Mike Conley, he took a shot. It rimmed out. They got so
Yeah,
lucky.
it was on. I thought it was gonna go in at first. I'm like, there's no way this goes in, and it rimmed out, and I'm like, wow,
I mean,
like
they
that's crazy.
I'd really I wanted them to beat the Clippers like firsthand, but I didn't want to put money on it.
Oh no,
I didn't want to put money
no.
on it.
When the Clippers went up 3-1, I was like, oh well, this is over. Like there's no shot. And then they gradually came back, and I was like damn, if I would have bet like $50 like on like DraftKings or some shit app like that,
Making
I would
some
have won
bank,
big time.
big
Big
time.
time. My payout would have been racks.
Thank God for pandemic PG 13%.
Oh, PG 13%.
That's
He he was the biggest bubble. He was the biggest disappointment. He was worse than Siakam in the bubble. Paul
oh
George.
yeah.
He played like a
And
pandemic pussy.
do you think he's gonna be back for the postseason? Pandemic P?
No, I don't think the Clippers make the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah. No. Here's why. You asked me earlier who I think could slip in to the playoffs,
Yeah.
and there's one team that I'm really really hoping. Let me look up these standings real quick because there's a team that I really feel like will be able to slip under there in the West. Where are you at? Conference. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So the Clippers are 9-4,
Hmm.
2 seed right now. Hear me out. The Warriors and the Grizzlies will both slide in at 8-7. I think the Clippers will drop by like middle of the season, let's say, to like the 6th seed. And it's going to come down to them playing teams like Pelicans, Timberwolves, all the teams that are lower, they're pretty way under 500 records, and they're going
I
to fold.
I see them folding if Kawhi Leonard he goes under his what's it called load management or whatever, and if
Yeah,
Paul George he has his middle season slump that he usually has for whatever reason.
mm, yeah, that could be big. But if you look at it, like their roster, they don't have much depth behind them like they did last year, where Kawhi and Paul George are going to have to play these 40 minutes in
Who
order for them to win.
who's
When
on their
last year they had,
hmm, who's on their bench this year? Could you look that up?
yeah, I got you.
The roster, because I only remember them losing Harrell. I don't remember them losing anyone else.
All right, so they added Nicholas Batum. I mean, that dude's old as shit. Don't think he'll be able to keep up. They added Serge Ibaka, which was a great pickup. He's
Good
great.
pickup.
I love him. I wish the Sixers could have had him.
Oh yeah, he's
Um,
been a great bench player.
you have Marcus Morris. He's a bitch and a pussy. Fuck him. Yeah, I hate him so much.
That is
Lou Will's there.
that man is a black Air Force.
He every time I watch him play basketball on TV, I want to punch him to the TV screen.
He gets so mad. I don't understand why he's so. Why are you so mad?
I don't know. I don't know. He's him. Well, his brother's more calm than he is, but I don't know. It's like somebody like Pete and his Cheerios every morning, and like he just has a fucking problem as soon as he gets on the court. Like Jesus Christ, I can't wait till like LeBron gets a hold of him one time and just clocks him. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Good night.
I feel like they get somebody from the bench to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will. Montrezl Harrell probably would.
Probably would.
He'll
Probably
probably rock his shit.
Probably rock him. Then again, he is from Philly, so he might slip that.
Yeah, he probably will, because you know people born and raised in Philly
they're a different breed.
They are a different breed.
I mean, oh yeah, his brother he got into an altercation with DeMarcus Cousins a couple
Wrong
days
person
ago.
to get into an altercation with. DeMarcus Cousins, one of these times, is going to pull a switchblade in the middle of the game and just stab somebody. He's big for nothing. He's a big for nobody.
I would not mess with that man, DeMarcus Cousins.
No, he's a ticking time bomb.
If I bumped into him, I would say my fault.
I would, you write him an apology letter.
Write him an apology. I want no problems. So, say if the Clippers do slide in, do you think PG is going to play good or really bad?
No, I think he's going to go right. He's never performed well in the playoffs. He may have a couple games where he scores like 25 or above, but they lose every time. Every time he's in the playoffs, the team he plays for loses. Pacers, Thunder, Dame Lillard hit a shot right in his mitt. He hit the backboard in the bubble. Garbage.
I don't know what it is. Everybody who he guards in crunch time gives him 30. They give him buckets.
It's like if we played on the Sixers, me and you, and we're playing Paul George in the finals, you and me will combine for 60 on him. Simple. He will not be able to guard us.
It's not like he plays bad defense either.
No, he just gets outplayed. Every year he gets outplayed.
Do you see that 10-minute video that they had of him just getting scored on?
No, I'm kind of interested now.
All right, so it was like on YouTube. There's a 10-minute video of him just getting scored on in crunch time every single time. Like, it was just like, I think it was a span of like 2 years, maybe 2 years. Devin Booker. What do you say?
I'm gonna have to look it up after this.
Definitely. The Devin Booker. Who else? LeBron. Dame Lillard. Freaking the guy from the Jazz, the white guy, the tall one. Joe.
Gordon Hayward? Joe Ingles?
Joe Ingles. Straight buckets.
Joe Ingles.
And he was talking shit to him afterwards.
Joe Ingles, that man is a straight sharpshooter.
I'm like, how do you let a guy with an accent talk that much shit to you? And you let him give you buckets.
I forgot he's Australian, isn't he?
I think so. Like, I thought he was trash the way he looked. I swear, I really thought he was trash before I seen him play for the first time.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you, honestly. Look at his hairline. You look at a player like that, you would think his jump shooting is just as patchy as his hair.
He just looks like a guy you just see at the office.
No, he works at 9 to 5.
Works 9 to 5.
At night.
Plays that shit for fun. He's that one old guy in 24. What is it? What's it called? LA Fitness that gives you 40.
Oh, those are the best. I love playing against people like that.
Oh my god, they're so it's. I get mad guarding them.
You can't though. You can't get mad guarding a dude like that.
He's giving me buckets and he's 40.
That's that's you problem. You can't get mad at him for you getting shit on. Like I played when we were able to still play like at the rec center for rowing, like for school and everything. I played against kids who don't really play basketball all the time, and I understand where you're coming from because you get like this. I mean, I had this little heavy set kid. All he would do is just drain threes from the corner.
Oh my god, PJ Tucker.
Yes, I understand your frustration, but at the same time, when he's not on offense and not wide open, he sucks. He can't do anything. If he's scoring at will on you playing actual defense, you should retire. That's all I'm gonna say.
The worst people to play. I guess big people who can move. Big people who can move. Like somebody of Zion's build.
If I saw somebody like Zion's build in a Planet Fitness or an LA Fitness or whatever, I'm like, dude, go home, go try out for a G League team, get out. Like, I'm not trying to play you. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to go sweaty against a fucking wannabe Zion. I'm good.
Yeah, because one of those box outs, it's gonna put you on the floor. It's gonna take the air out of you.
Oh yeah, put one elbow right into my chest. I'm going down.
I'm like, oh.
Just like if you remember in high school when Malik gave Chris an elbow right to the fucking gut. Good night.
Bro, he was elbowing everybody.
He did elbow a lot of people.
A lot of people. Every single person. I remember when Jalil almost banged on him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, "Oh."
Yo, if he would got banged on, I said this in high school. I said I would have quit. I would have gone home. I would have walked off the bench, down the locker room, got my things. I'll see you later. That's it.
I guarantee everybody would have pointed at him after that.
Even I would have. I'm like, yo, right there.
Freaking the one guy that went to West Virginia. Don't say his name. You know who he is.
The one guy who went to West Virginia?
Yeah. Who played on Wildcat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If he would have banged on Malik,
I don't know what I would have said. It would have been an in the moment thing. I don't know what I would have done. That's a tough call. I don't know.
How many more excuses do you think Paul George is going to make?
Infinite.
Like some of his excuses weren't even making sense. It was like what's it called? Deontay Wilder's excuses after he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, that was brutal. And he was a bitch for making excuses for that because he got knocked the fuck out.
Tyson Fury was like, all in his blood.
Tyson Fury was I don't know. That dude gives me some serious concerning vibes.
With Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
Why?
Like I just look at him and I'm like, dude, if I saw this guy in person, he'd probably knock me out for fun. Like a drive-by knockout. Like just for fun.
You think he's that much of a psychopath?
I don't know.
I do not.
All I'm saying is if he probably does drive-by KOs. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Like the way his body shit, he's kind of built like Eggman.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. But back to the Paul George excuses. His excuse was he needed to play more pick and roll to get into his flow, into his rhythm. he played the most pick and roll he has in his career last season and during the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why they went out and got like Ibaka, so they could run a pick and roll better with him. I guess. I mean, I don't know what to say because if I mean that's true, so that can't be a valid excuse. When you have Doc Rivers as a head coach, one of his main things, if you look from out from when he first started coaching, he's always had a good big man, and he's always had a point guard or a superstar that he could run that pick and roll offense with. He did it with Paul George. He's done it with Kawhi, but Paul George couldn't do it right. Every time he would do the pick and roll, it looked like he was retarded. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like he just looked like he didn't know what he was doing.
Honestly, because some nights he just cannot miss, and other days he can't even hit the side of the backboard properly.
No, I mean to be fair though, I'll give him like the benefit of the doubt. A lot of NBA players can have those where they're streaky, like they won't miss, or then they'll hit the backside of the backboard. But Paul George does it way too often,
He's too
which is the only.
streaky of a superstar.
Yeah, that is true. I don't think he's. I don't even think he's a superstar anymore. I think he's
Really?
a star. I don't think he's a superstar because he's definitely not in a category with Kawhi, LeBron, Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Harden, Durant, Kyrie. He is nowhere near that anymore. You could argue when he was in Indiana, sure, he was a he was nice. Now
Um,
that he's a little older, he's a star, nothing more.
Kind of true. Kind of true. But like, I still like his defense. If he's playing 1-on-1, I would take him. I'll take him almost every time,
It
unless it's
depends who's
at
guarding him.
who do you have to guard him in the NBA at his like position?
He's a small forward, technically, right? That's what you would
Plays
consider him as, or would you consider him a shooting guard?
shooting guard.
Shooting guard. All right. Well, I mean, it all depends like what team he's playing. So, because certain teams run certain matchups. Like if he played the Sixers,
Mm-hmm.
the Clippers played the Sixers. If Simmons wasn't guarding Kawhi, he would lock down Paul George.
I give him a good chance to lock down Paul George
I would take Simmons guarding Paul George 1-on-1 on the wing any day of the week.
any day of the week. Yeah,
He'll stop him 9 out of 10 times.
yeah. I can't see Paul George giving Simmons 40. I
I
can't see
can't
that.
see him giving Simmons 20.
20? You don't think you can get 20 on Simmons?
No, I mean, well, if he's on a hot streak, then sure, because I think anyone, if you're shooting really well, you can give anybody 20. But I think on a regular night for Paul George, Simmons will hold him to under 20.
Hmm. How long? How long before LeBron retires? How long do you think?
Well, what year is he in now?
You're 18.
Oh my god. Um, I don't know because I know he's saying he wants to play with his son, and what's his son's like? Oh, got to be like what
Sophomore.
4 or 5 years maybe,
Yeah, probably 3 years. Yeah.
3 years. So you'd be looking at Braun entering his what maybe 21st, 22nd season.
Hmm. I'm surprised. I don't think Bronny got beat. I don't think he got beat.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think so
LeBelt
either.
came out on him upside his head. He
I
should
don't
have
think he
got
did
him.
either. I think LeBron is I don't think he does stuff like that. To be honest with you, just like the way he goes about everything, I think he's more of like, here, I'm gonna sit down and talk to you kind of guy, and tell you how I feel and what you should and shouldn't be doing, compared to the violent
He
kind
said
of
the
stuff with
violence.
the belt or the spoon.
This booed. Oh my god. I mean, only time will tell. I think LeBron's got at least at least 4 years in him.
I think
At
4
a
or 5
high,
as well.
yeah. I think 2 more at a high level, and then we start to see the decline.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Because I think all these younger athletes like Luca, John Morant, they're gonna be able to start, really getting in the groove of like being in the NBA, and they'll start taking over as arguably some of the best players.
Yeah. Hmm. It was great having you on the show, Ian. Honestly,
Yeah, I
and
really appreciate it, man. This was fun.
I really like to thank you for being a guest. And where can we follow you again?
IJB_03 on IG, all lowercase, and downtown IB3 on Twitter.
All the baddies, hit him up.
That's right. I got the curls.
Got the curls. What white boy know with curls? I would
I
like
don't know any.
I would like to thank everyone for listening, and you can follow me on IG and Twitter at Life of Imola, and subscribe to me on YouTube. Stay sensible. Take care.